Ciao, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are doing a Q&A. I leave exactly 1 week from today for Italy, so I'm kind of in this really weird place where I don't have a great vlog put together yet for you guys. So I thought we'd do a really fun Q&A. Hopefully if you're new, this is like a great video for you to be on because it'll kind of explain the randomness that is my Mediterranean lifestyle channel. So I got my coffee, go grab a drink, go grab a snack. Hopefully I won't ramble. I'm gonna try to make this entertaining, but I like to talk. I mean, it is what it is. Let's hop into it with the first question. So the first question I got from Victoria, thank you Victoria, it was, where exactly in Italy are you moving? So I will be moving to Rome. I've been a lot of places in Italy, but Rome is by far my favorite, obviously because my family is there. I will be doing a lot of travel, or hope to do a lot of travel. We shall see while I'm there, but my home base will be in Rome, a little bit outside of the city center. So the city center of Rome is the very tourist place with Spanish Steps, Colosseum, all of those kind of things. I will live out in the suburbs with my family, with my grandmother. I also just feel so home when I'm in Rome. I know the buses and the transportation very well. I know the areas, the different suburbs of Rome. So a couple of you actually submitted like a couple questions at a time, which I love. So some of these questions are from like multiple questions that you put in there, so like number 2 of a couple questions. So I can't remember exactly who asked this, but thank you for asking it. Which members of your family live in Italy? So the story is, and it's quite adorable and I love telling it, that my mom studied abroad in college. She met my dad in Rome. He was the only one who didn't speak English in the moment that they all met, and she was the one who spoke probably the best Italian amongst her friends, so they kind of just hit it off. And then they both decided to get married in America, and for him to long-term move to America to start the family, to start a career, all of that. When my dad moved over here, he left all of his family behind, and so it was tradition every single year growing up at Christmas time. My brothers, my mom and my dad and I would all go at Christmas time for about 2 weeks, for however long we had, and we would go to Rome because every single family member of my dad's side is in Italy. So the next question is a fabulous question. And so I'll try to answer it as best I can. But Delaney, thank you Delaney for asking this. She asked on Instagram about my visa stuff and how am I going to be able to stay there long term? Like, did I get a visa? I did not get a visa. I don't need a visa. So right now I have a very flexible ticket. I paid extra to make it changeable because I am technically an Italian citizen. So by lineage, by descent, because of my father, let me look up the term, I wrote it down. It's some Latin word, jure sanguinis. It's by right of blood or by descent. So my father is an Italian citizen. It all proves that I can be an Italian citizen. So I actually have a video of this back in October of 2020. I scheduled with the Italian consulate here in America for 2022, because that's how backed up they were, to have my appointment to get my citizenship. However, I want to travel to Italy before 2022 and stay there a while. So right now, I only have 3 months, so I don't break the 90 days because you are allowed to stay in Italy and any of the Schengen, I always have an issue saying this, Schengen countries, which is just mostly majority of the EU countries. You're allowed to stay there for 90 days without a visa. So I have my ticket for that. Actually, it's a little bit over 90 days, but let's not tell the Italian government that. I'm hoping to go to court while I'm there, so technically it would be their version of City Hall in Rome, in Italy. Hoping to get an appointment. I'm going to ask my family for a little bit of help and translation once I get to Rome next weekend. But I'm hoping to get an appointment with City Hall to get my citizenship finalized. If I can do that while I'm in Rome, I will probably extend past 3 months. So I know what you're saying, Caroline, 3 months is not moving to Italy. That's kind of BS. So technically in my heart, it kind of is moving to Italy in my case because I don't have a home right now. There's no home. There's no place in America I can call home. I don't really feel at home, even though my family is here. This is my family's home here in Columbus. I left my stuff in storage in Arizona because I have no idea where I want to move one day. And there's just no place that, because I don't have a job that's telling me where I need to go. I just don't know where my home is in America. So I am making my home in Italy. So that's why I feel like I'm moving there. Am I really doing all the work of moving there for a year, 2 years, 3 years? I'm starting that process. I'm going there for 3 months to get my citizenship, hopefully, and then to see if I do want to live there for 6 months, a year. You can totally call me out for not moving to Italy. Fair play, but like, let's just like not call me out for it. I am moving in my idea, in my world, because nothing feels like home. But anyways, that's my talk about not getting a visa. However, I did do the research. If you are interested in visas, they're actually pretty easy to obtain. The most popular one for sure is studying abroad. So you go with your usually college class to wherever you're studying abroad and they get the student visa. There's just so many visas besides like a study one. Like if you want to go work there, if you want to go be an entrepreneur and start a business there, if you have family there and you have a family visa, that would probably be, if I didn't have the citizenship opportunity this easy, I would probably do a family visa, or you can do a visa for retirement, like if you want to retire in Italy if you're from America. So there's a lot of different visas out there. It's all pretty much through online. You just put in applications, you give them all your information, they approve you. It's a lot of like back and forth. It's a lot of probably waiting around because, you know, government stuff can take a while. So you just kind of have to go with it with patience. But I'll leave a link below where I found some really good websites explaining how you get a visa, especially for the Schengen countries. All right, so the next question is, when did you start following the Mediterranean lifestyle and what are the reasons that made you do it? I started following the Mediterranean lifestyle in summer of 2018 specifically. I had gone to Italy with one of my best friends. Hi, Lauren, if you're watching this, ciao. Being there with one of my friends and traveling, and it was a combination of my age and where I was in life and the things that were going on in life that summer, it just clicked for me. So up until that summer, I had a severe off and on relationship with ED, eating disorders. I was probably like in 7th grade when my parents got divorced. My eating disorder came about. It was the only thing like I could control. So everything I did working out and eating was the only thing I could control with how much change was going on around me. So, and I also remember being miserable in grade school and high school. I just believed I would get friends, I would receive love if I was skinny looking. And so I definitely had like pretty bad cases up and down of eating disorders. My weight would fluctuate a lot through grade school and college. So I was just over the top health and fitness obsessed. And then once I got to Italy that summer, something kind of just revealed itself to me, that the joy of living life so well and getting to balance and be in moderation and have a glass of wine and walk as your workout and not feel guilty and have an extra, 5 pounds on your body versus the joy of, getting to see a number on the scale. Like that joy of just living life was so much more rewarding that I don't think I could ever go back to being that severe of an eating disorder. I haven't relapsed. I haven't gotten into that mindset. Haven't lost that extra 5 to 10 pounds that, every woman probably wants to lose. I've just lived the Mediterranean lifestyle and I've never ever been more happy in my life. That's how the Mediterranean lifestyle and the diet is supposed to be. That's why it actually is sustainable and you can carry it through the rest of your life. It's not a keto diet where you have to worry about your carbs every single day and worry about your food every single day and you can't go out to eat without worrying and you can't miss a day or a meal and your weight fluctuates too much. Living a Mediterranean lifestyle, eating the Mediterranean diet, I realize I'm just truly just living well. And I tend to be very healthy doing it. That's the benefit of the Mediterranean lifestyle. It's sustainable and it brings you joy and you just don't want to stop living that way. Your diet becomes your lifestyle. These are habits you want to take. When you're dieting hardcore, all these workouts, all this cutting every single macro, counting macros, you don't want to do that forever. That's miserable. That's time consuming. That weighs on your mind and your heart. Those aren't habits you want to take with the rest of your life. You don't want to count macros every day for the rest of your life. The Mediterranean lifestyle it clicked for me. So yeah, I just went from, years and years of staring at myself in the mirror, hating the way I looked, hoping that the skinnier I was, the more boys would give me attention and the more happier I'd be. But it turned out living joyfully and eating when I want to and drinking and living in moderation and not stressing myself to work out and living with this extra 5 to 10 pounds or whatever, that joy it's so much more rewarding. And now I never even think about those old ways, those old habits. So the next question is from Sweet Ellen. Thank you, Ellen, for asking this question. I truly appreciate you and your support on my YouTube channel. How do you get started in general, the Mediterranean way? So how do you get started on the diet, the lifestyle, all of the above? And so that's where this phrase that I annoyingly say, but will never stop saying in all of my videos of create a zestful day comes in. Because creating a zestful day means the bare minimum of habits you need to live the Mediterranean way. And the reason I also created it is I wanted to make habits that were totally achievable, sustainable, that just became a part of your everyday without even having to think about, oh, I have to do this today. So it would be go outside, get some vitamin D, be around nature, get some fresh air, just see what the world is outside. Don't stay in all day and feel like you're isolated. Move around. So that doesn't mean go to the gym and have a 45-minute cycling class. That is amazing if that's your move around. But if your move around was just go walk the dog around the pond, or if you went for a swim, or if you rode your bike to the farmer's market, like, move around has endless possibilities. It just means get your heart rate up, get active, exercise in some form. It doesn't have to be so harsh as go to the gym and get all sweaty and all that stuff. That's great to do sometimes, and it's definitely necessary sometimes, but it doesn't have to be your everyday. There's no pressure. Like, find what you love, what works for you to move around. Have conversations. So this is huge. So life got so isolating in Arizona, and being home and socializing this much, my joy and my outlook on life has just risen tremendously. Being social, even coming from someone who loves their alone time, loves to be left alone, be an introvert, as someone who's very anxious and gets very stressed out, and we're in a world where a lot of people are anxious and stressed out, when you connect with someone and you just feel like you're not alone, you feel like your worries aren't the end of the world, your worries aren't as big as you've been conjuring them up in your head. Like, being social, it's amazing. Make time for it. And then the fourth one is fill up your cup. So no matter what day it is, this is a very Mediterranean lifestyle habit. They don't care if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Sunday. They're going to enjoy life at some point during the day. They're going to treat themselves to some ice cream. They're going to meet a friend for a glass of wine. They're going to eat some really good food. They're going to take themselves to the park. Like, they don't say like everything is reserved for the weekend. You shouldn't reserve all your joy, all your fun, all your rewards for the weekend, for your vacations. Every day of your life counts. Every day. So treat yourself to something every day. Don't waste a day just because it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Every day you can get out there and enjoy life, and finally try harder. So no matter what your challenges are, like, we're never going to be perfect. We're all going to go through seasons of life. We're never going to get everything right and exactly how we want it at one time in our life. We just go through seasons. Know and accept you're always going to be working. You're always going to be in a process. You're always going to be trying to get to your next goal. You're trying to get to your next thing. So try harder to enjoy today as well as work for the next thing. So that is a great way to start the Mediterranean way, is look at those 5 principles. And that doesn't really discuss diet, because diet isn't I think people think the recipe for success, for a healthy life, is diet. I mean, it's a huge part, but it's not the end all be all. So diet is, in my idea, would be a different topic of the Mediterranean way. So those would be how to start the Mediterranean way, in my opinion. You create a zestful day. And so transitioning into diet, my sweet friend Lauren asked, this is another Lauren that I talked about earlier, but she asked how to eat the Mediterranean diet when you're plant-based. Fantastic question. So if you're familiar with the Mediterranean diet, if you're not, please leave a comment below. If you're not familiar with the Mediterranean diet, I can do a whole video on just the Mediterranean diet, like 101. I could do something like that. But the Mediterranean diet really comes down to just whole foods, really freaking good ingredients, and wholesomely grown and locally grown and just seasonal. And then just putting those amazing ingredients in a simple little recipe, just a handful of them, and then you have a Mediterranean diet recipe. Like whole grains, nuts, legumes, fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, high quality dairy sources, and high quality protein sources. When she asks about plant-based, why I think the Mediterranean diet is superior, and you know what, I'm just gonna say it is, come at me, fight me, it's superior, is because it can adapt to whatever you have. So if you're gluten intolerant, you can adapt with the Mediterranean diet. If you're plant-based, you can adapt. If you're pescatarian, so easy to adapt. Dairy-free, it's literally, there's so many ways to adapt the Mediterranean diet to work for you. So if she's plant-based, or if you are plant-based, you look at the 2 things that are really not plant-based in the Mediterranean diet: meat sources and dairy sources. So meat, I mean, hello, just switch out for all the legumes, all the beans, all the lentils, all the nuts, seeds, like nuts and seeds that are so high in protein. Off the top of my head are hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, peanuts, cashews, flax seeds. Those are like amazing sources of protein. Tofu and tempeh, and or even Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger in place of, you know, things like chicken or ground beef or burgers. And then I think we often forget too, like a lot of vegetables are insanely high in protein. So dark leafy greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, what else? It's really, mushrooms. Mushrooms are often used like as meaty substitutes in like a bolognese sauce or something. I could do like a whole video too on just how to make recipes, a bunch of like plant-based recipes. You kind of just want to switch it out and adapt and use those wholesome ingredients to get your protein in. And then for your dairy sources, Greek yogurt. My favorite substitution would be plain coconut yogurt. It's really thick. The brand I love is Kalina. Also, Minimalist Baker has an amazing homemade coconut yogurt. So easy to make, kind of fail-proof, and I love it. And then there's so many like cheese options right now in the world. Like, I mean, there's so many brands out there that have tried to make plant-based cheese. Nutritional yeast. Like, nutritional yeast is insanely high in protein, and it's often used as like a cheesy addition into meals to kind of get that cheesy taste. Mediterranean diet has endless options to adjust to how you want to live your life and how you want to feel and eat and be and all the above. I had to change the battery, so we're probably positioned a little bit differently now, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit off, but let's move on to the next question. We're still on the Mediterranean diet talk. Thank you for asking this question. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm sure your real name is on your Instagram. You asked about the fact that you're new to the Mediterranean diet and would love recs for healthy/good snacks. So Mediterranean diet is not super snacky. I have lived it enough to know people don't eat 3 to 5 small meals on the Mediterranean lifestyle. I don't know where this suggestion came about. I'm sure some research was done. The most common Mediterranean diet during the day is usually something tiny for breakfast with some coffee, maybe a mid-morning snack, a nice lunch, and a great dinner. Snacks would commonly be like sometimes a piece of pizza, especially in Italy. They have this thing al taglio, which is by the cut. So they have like little tiny pizzas like long like this, and you can just cut like a couple rectangles of it for you to eat as a snack. That's really common. Classic American Mediterranean snacks, if you get what I'm saying, would be hummus and veggies, hummus and chips, would be Greek yogurt with berries, Greek yogurt with granola, or like a tzatziki dip with vegetables. Other really common suggested American Mediterranean diet snacks would be nuts and dried fruit, but make sure the dried fruit is not sweetened. Granola bars are usually a great option. I would say the most common on a snack in general is often just like a bunch of, seasonal fruit. Like that's what my grandma will usually do. Like midday, she'll put out like a bowl of cherries or apricots. I'm usually there more often in the summer. We'll see what she does now that I'm going to be here in the fall and winter. So I would just say like the most real you can get it to be like as wholesome. So like not super packaged, not super processed, like as wholesome and real ingredient as you can get would always just be a great snack. Okay, so this message came in through my website, so I don't have the name either. I cropped that out. She asked how to get motivated to exercise and get the Mediterranean lifestyle. So start the Mediterranean lifestyle. So motivation, this is a great question because motivation is kind of a hard thing to just gain out of nowhere. In my opinion, probably the best way to get motivated is to enjoy the things you're doing. So if you are probably not motivated to eat healthy because you think it's not enjoyable. You're not motivated to exercise because it's not enjoyable. So find a way to do it joyfully. So if you're not motivated to eat healthy, remember it's 80-20. You can have a really healthy dinner with a glass of wine. You can have like fats and really good sources of food that do taste good and fulfill you, like make you feel full and all of that stuff, and still eat the Mediterranean way. You can have normal serving of gelato or ice cream after dinner and feel totally fine. Like there's the 80-20. Like if 80% of the way you're eating healthy, you're totally allowed to, also moderate with other fun foods. So just remember like the motivation of knowing like it doesn't have to be literally just undressed greens and watermelon. That's like your only meal. Like no, like there's so many options to eat really yummy, healthy things. If you need suggestions, I have a few cooking videos of some yummy, delicious food that you would be maybe motivated to make or eat. Working out. So if you don't want to work out, maybe find a way to enjoy taking walks, whether it's listening to an audiobook or a podcast, calling a friend or a family member, and like making it a goal to call someone new every day during your walking time. Create a really awesome playlist for your workout so that way you're motivated during your workout because you have these jams going on that you love. Ask a friend to come with you. Go on walks with friends, like make it a social hour. Also, just journaling helps a lot too. Day to day, we don't realize the small things. So feeling better, waking up less bloated, less tired because you're starting to eat the Mediterranean way and live the Mediterranean way, journaling that and looking back on that, you'll start to get motivated and see there is progress happening. I am feeling better. I'm noticing things because we kind of often go so quickly during our day we don't notice. So journaling this journey that you're on can help a lot as well. So those would be a few tips for staying motivated when you're trying to start a new chapter of your life, like the Mediterranean lifestyle. Okay, so this is a great question because I feel like a lot of people want to know this, and I don't blame you for wanting to know this, but how do you lose weight on the Mediterranean diet? Thank you so much for Janine for asking this question. Losing weight, like I've had a lot of conversations with people about this. It comes down to two things. Really one thing. Losing weight comes down to one thing: calories out versus calories in. We can talk for hours and hours about science and research and all this stuff about how to lose weight, the best way to lose weight, what diet works for you at your age. It's calories in versus calories out. Like, so in my opinion, the best way to lose weight on the Mediterranean lifestyle would just be walk for 20 minutes more, exercise for 20 minutes more, stay active half an hour more every day maybe. Instead of eating 3/4 a cup of grains, just know you maybe need to eat like a half a cup of grains. So that way when you go back to eating the normal amounts, you are maintaining. So to lose weight, I would just live your Mediterranean lifestyle as normally with a little bit more activity and a little bit less food. So instead of like 2 rows of chocolate every night before bed, 2 squares instead of so it'd be like 3 instead. So that'd be 6, squares. Obviously I eat chocolate and not a lot before bed to know all this, but instead of having 6 squares, have 2. Like, it's that simple. Like, you don't have to take away the pleasures and the joy of the Mediterranean lifestyle. You just have to put in a little bit more work. And that's what it comes to when you want to lose weight. Because if you starve yourself, if you take away all your joy, speaking from experience, you're going to then stop your diet and totally gain it all back, if not gain more back. So let your body slowly adjust, slowly take away a little bit from each meal day by day into your diet for weight loss until you're eating less in each meal and you're moving more every day, and then results will happen. All right, so this is from Sally. Sweet, sweet Sally. I love Sally. She's a doll. Thank you, Sally, so much for asking this question. It was definitely needed to do some research on my end because I wasn't super educated in all of this for menopause, midlife, how the Mediterranean diet is great for menopause and midlife, and when you're going through all these changes internally and physically and all of that stuff. So the Mediterranean diet is so researched, and I will leave articles upon articles down below if you love science, if you love research, if you love to read articles and research studies and stuff like that. But basically, the Mediterranean diet is amazing for your heart. It is amazing for brain fog, which are two things you kind of have to look at a lot during midlife and menopause. It's a combination literally of diet and life. Basically, the Mediterranean diet, I just found that it is just a great diet to be on when you're going through these changes because of all the healthy fats and the fiber that you find in the diet, which is great for the brain and the heart, not to mention all of the amazing antioxidants that come from eating all the produce that is highly recommended in the Mediterranean lifestyle. I don't know one meal I have a day that doesn't have either fruit or vegetables. So that's a huge part of it. And so also the Mediterranean lifestyle habits, such as the physical activity and keeping social connections, can lead to a lot less stress and anxiety, like I mentioned earlier, which also helps with some of the symptoms that you might be going through. I don't think I am qualified enough to really talk. Obviously, I'm not qualified really to give any advice at all. I should have stated that in the very beginning. I am a group certified fitness instructor and I got a BA in holistic health. But other than that, I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not a know-all be-all. These are suggestions and opinions and something I can bring to the table to get you interested in researching and finding out even more information for yourself. But I am not a doctor by any means. So there is research out there, and I will link that below on how it is helpful. So maybe you can feel a little bit more confident following it. That's about as well as I can answer that question. I'm sorry. Are you trying to learn Italian? If so, what are your tips? Thank you, Boston and beyond, for asking this question. I taught myself Italian growing up, and then it was just rough, really, really bad, just just barely got me through. And then I got to college. One of the biggest reasons why I chose OSU, because I wasn't a huge fan of college. I wanted to go there though because they offered Italian. So I went to OSU and took 3 semesters of Italian. I was about to major in Italian, but then I ran out of time and I was not going to pay extra to stay at school. I took 3 semesters, got me to like 70% fluent. But the 30% of being, able to hold a conversation for hours, the 30% of knowing like dialects and little kind of a lot of grammar. So I would say my biggest tips would be to get a tutor so that you can speak it. The more you speak it, the more it just stays stuck in your brain. So tutors are amazing. They have so many websites for tutors. That would be a huge tip. The app Duolingo, I mean, it's not going to get you fluent, but it's the bomb. I love the Duolingo app. I don't even pay for the free version. I watch the ads and I still love it. They give you great tips. You can do the extra time on that app to like learn about the certain topics at the moment that you're studying it in college or at a university, and then also just immersion. Immersion is amazing. Other tips I love are watching Netflix shows or any other shows in Italian with subtitles. So helpful to learn. Finding Italian songs that you love, translating them, and so you can know the meaning of the song, and then learning every single lyric so you can sing along, because sometimes, it's hard to catch all those words when they're being sung. Books, movies, kind of just as much as you can immerse yourself into the language. That's the best way you're gonna learn. I don't care if you're 6 or 56. At any age, you can learn it. I am 24, and I still have about 30% of Italian to learn. So those are my tips. Are you a full-time influencer? Since when, or would you like to be? This is a great question. Thank you for asking. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head who asked this, but thank you so much for asking it. I am not a full-time influencer. I cringe at that word. I like to believe I'm a content creator. I don't want to think I'm influencing you, because that just sounds like too much like liability, and like I don't have anything of influence. I just want to be entertainment at the end of the day. I just want to bring you joy and interesting information. I just want to create content, videos and such for you to enjoy. I don't know if I want to be a full-time influencer. I would love to see this channel explode. Like, I could cry right now thinking about it. I would love to have a huge following here solely. I don't even care about Instagram or TikTok or any of those. I would love to have a following here on YouTube. And I would love to know like products and services I could make for you through my Mediterranean lifestyle brand of my personal brand. I don't know if one day it could be something so big as doing retreats. Like, I don't know if I have a following that would ever be interested in that, to travel with me and experience Italy with me. We could all do it together. I don't know if I should come out with a book, because I have researched, and no one steal this from me, please, but I have researched over and over and over and over again for a Mediterranean lifestyle book, not a cookbook about the Mediterranean diet, and it doesn't exist. There's no book out there really that's talking about the lifestyle. I don't know if I want to maybe one day come out with merchandise, so sweatshirts and t-shirts that kind of have a lot of symbols that you could do. Like, I would do like cute little watercolor symbols, maybe a lemon, maybe a sun. I love the sun with the face on it. Like, I was thinking about coming out with a lot of symbols that represent my brand and the Mediterranean lifestyle, maybe for the 5 principles of creating a zestful day and creating merch with that. I got a lot of ideas in here, but I'm not going to go and do any of them until I know I have enough of you guys actually want it, because I don't want to put anything out there that you guys don't want. And right now it seems like you enjoy these videos, so I continue to do that. So I'm not a full-time influencer. I do have a job. I do work remotely with my job. I can work wherever. This is my side hustle. This is my passion. This is my joy. This is my I'm figuring out myself, I'm figuring out myself every day, every time I upload a video. So we're on this journey together of who the heck Caroline is. The next question is, who is your camera person that helps you sometimes? And do you feed them a lot of food? Yes, I did actually. So I've been super lucky. I don't know how this happened. It just kind of did. The last two guys that I was with, they were photographers. So that really benefited me. And actually my last boyfriend, he was a videographer as well. So he taught me a lot about videography and YouTube and how to do transitions and think more cinematic mindset when it came to YouTube. I'm still obviously an amateur. I still look at this lighting. I don't know what I'm doing. And when I was in Arizona with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, he got all my food. He was a total taste tester. He told me whether my recipes were good or not. Whoever I'm with ends up receiving my food because it's just one of my love languages. So now, but who's my photographer now? It's myself. I use a tripod, I use a timer. I will set my phone up and just bite the bullet and take the embarrassment of everyone watching and just kind of do photography with my phone. Or I will ask my mom. I've taught her very well how to take photos. We've been practicing probably like 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, I've had lots of photographers, a lot of help. I've been doing social media since I was a sophomore in college. I'm still learning every day, like adapting to new apps, adapting to new ways of taking photos, of my style. So my style has changed a lot throughout the years and will continue to change. My Instagram's kind of going through a transition of how I like to take my photos and what I like to post and stuff like that. I think that's the last question. I've been talking for about an hour now, so this is going to be really fun to edit and take out all my chit chat. Hopefully you're only watching like 20-ish, 30 minutes of this. And if you're still here, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for staying interested and watching this whole thing. Hopefully you got a tiny bit of value out of this video. If anyone wants to come visit me in Italy, I'm available. If you want to come this fall, if you're available to come this fall, come visit. I would love to have you around in Rome. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some kind of value out of this. I can't wait to hopefully maybe do another one. If you, like I said, if I didn't answer your question well enough or you thought of a new question while I was talking, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you're most excited about from this video, what you liked hearing, what, the best piece of advice maybe that I gave. If you did enjoy, please hit the thumbs up and hit that subscribe button as well as a notification bell, please. Because it helps me out so much. So much. Actually, you don't even know how much it helps me out when you like and subscribe and all of that stuff. If you're new here, I'm incredibly grateful for you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I hope you create a very, very zestful day. Ciao. Is that all right? I feel like you should be closer. I don't know how to do these things. We're close now. I have the awkward mic cord going all throughout. And there goes the sunlight. Let's do this. Let's answer some questions. Oh, sun's back.